Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Southern Cross University's Open Day 2022. This is our panel on pathways, so thank you very much for joining us. Before we begin, I'd like to pay my respects to the Aboriginals past and present, and I just wanted to tell you an interesting fact that I found out, that our local region is actually the home to 3 tribes that originated from 3 brothers that came to the region over 10,000 years ago. So that was something I found really fascinating and wanted to share with you all today. I'd like to introduce our panel. So we have Johanna, who is part of our Southern Cross College, and I'll let her talk about her role in a moment. And Claire, who came through the Pathways program, is now studying a bachelor degree with us. And Anthony from our Indigenous Australian Support Service. So if I can start with you, Johanna, just to talk about yourself, your role at Southern Cross.
Hi, so I'm Johanna. So I'm a lecturer here at Southern Cross University in SU College. So I'm teaching a variety of programs, including the Preparing for Success program and some of our diplomas as well.
Thank you. And Claire, we mentioned that you came through the Pathways program, but you're studying your bachelor degree now. So did you want to talk about what you're studying now and why the Pathways?
Well, I always wanted to study and never had the opportunity earlier in life as life got in the way and kids and stuff. Anyway, my daughter sent me a link to the PSP program here and said, just do it. And so I clicked on the link and applied, and I thought that I wouldn't get in because I didn't have the education and I wouldn't be able to do it. But the Future Students team helped me every step, and before I knew it, I was here studying the PSP program.
Yeah, and what did you go on to study, which bachelor degree?
I'm doing exercise and sports science.
Yeah, excellent. And Anthony, can you tell us about your unit? Because it's, offers some great services. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. My name's Anthony Oliver and I'm the team leader of the Indigenous Australian Student Services unit. We're a unit that supports Indigenous students who are studying at SCU. So any student that's studying any discipline, any course, any program, we support students both academically and socially and emotionally as well, as far as helping them through the journey of study. And obviously for any student it's quite a intimidating process sometimes, and we're there to support them right from the beginning of applying and pathwaying into uni, right through to the end of graduation and in between.
Thank you. Johanna, so we've thrown around this topic or title, pathways. What does that mean, or what does it look like? What is it?
Okay, so for me, when I think about pathways, I think we are all on different journeys in life, and not everyone chooses to go to university straight out of high school, or not everyone have an ATAR to go into their chosen degree. And so we have different ways of getting into university. Like honestly, if you want to go and study at university, there is a way in. And so what I call these ways in are different pathways just to get into university. So anyone thinking about university, there is a pathway for you to be able to study at university.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I think that, I have grade 11 twins at the moment, and my daughter's keen on coming to university, and that's what I say to her is really half the battle's finding what you're passionate about, and then, as we said, if you've got a topic or a study area that you're passionate about, there is a way to come to university, and the alternative pathways is one of them. So we all know about UAC and QTAC and putting your preferences in when you're at high school for your different courses at your different institutions. But just know, for example, if you don't get that ATAR that you're hoping for, that our PSP program, which is 12 weeks, costs you nothing if you're an Australian citizen. By completing that program, you'll gain entry into most of our bachelor degrees. We do have an abbreviated version of that program, which is just for Year 12 students, and that's called Transition to Uni. So that's over the 6-week holiday, basically. You complete that course and you'll be guaranteed entry into most of our bachelor degrees. The Preparing for Success is also great if you have taken, like Claire, a little bit of a break from study for a little while and you're a little bit nervous about what it is that you might be doing, or am I going to cope? So the PSP program, or Preparing for Success, is great for that. There's also a range of diplomas as well. So if you think, oh yes, I definitely want to come to university, I know I'm particularly passionate about arts, but will I cope with a full-on bachelor degree? Maybe a diploma is an option you'd like to consider where it's a little bit less of a commitment, but anything that you gain or complete, you'll be able to put towards your bachelor degree as credit, saving your time off money off that. So as we said, lots of different pathways into university, and our bridging programs are a sort of a great place to start. Claire, we talked about if you've taken a break from study for a little while and you think, oh man, is my academic writing as it should be? What do you sort of cover in the Preparing for Success program? How do you get that confidence?
Oh, definitely. Look, the PSP program prepares you for every aspect that you need to know at university and in life. I learned how to manage my time. We run a farm, so I had to be able to fit everything in with our lifestyle at home. The biggest fear I had was I don't know how to use the library and I don't know how to research. But they teach you everything step by step. You know, they take you through it. They teach you how to write, what type of words you have to use. Just everything is there laid out for you. And my computer skills just went through the roof by the end of it. So it was amazing, yeah. Anything you need to know. And they're there if you've got any questions, like if you're struggling with something. Just sort of get online and chat to them and they help you out.
Yeah. Joanna, can I get you to sort of elaborate on some of the other skills other than just academic writing? What else can we expect if we take on the Preparing for Success in terms of the skills we'll develop?
Yeah, so like Claire was saying, the Preparing for Success program, we really are trying, everything is scaffolded and everything is geared towards preparing you for future success in all of your studies, your future studies. So it's not just about that time management, there's time management skills, but there's also these other skills there's learning strategies, learning skills, there's academic writing. There's also, we have one of the units that's compulsory is a mathematics unit. But when people hear maths, they go oh, okay, maybe, that sounds a bit scary. But it's actually teaching you skills to use mathematics for problem solving, so real life things that you are going to use maths for, and that you then also apply in your future units. We also have science, so there's an elective unit, one is a science unit. So if you're going to study a degree with anything to do with science or education, then you do the science unit, so studying science. And then the other elective is arts and business-based units when it's more about academic inquiry into issues in arts and business. Yeah, but it covers everything, like I said. It covers everything that you need to be successful in your future studies. And everything's really scaffolded so that you base it on your current knowledge. We build on your knowledge and just take it one step at a time, another one and another one until you're then ready within that time frame to graduate and go on to your future studies.
Yeah, no, thank you. So we talked about pathways and we gave some examples that we have available at Southern Cross. Anthony, there's a particular pathway that's open to Aboriginal and Islander students as well. Could you elaborate on that for us?
Sure. For Indigenous, prospective Indigenous students, we have an alternate pathway, much like Joanna was talking about, with different levels of where people can come in. For Indigenous students, we do what we call testing and assessment, or TNA, and really it's a pathway to get people who are applying to the university. For some who may not quite reach the ranking of the course, so if they've had an application to the university and they're not quite at the ranking of the course, we can get them to undertake what we call TNA. So basically it's an academic assessment. It allows us to have a look at them academically. They get assessed by an academic who then ranks them or scores them from their assessment-based answers and their writing skills. And it allows us to give us a picture of how they sit academically. So we can make recommendations to the admissions team and say, this particular student, we feel academically is able to go into that course and can be ranked and be put into that course as an offer. And for other people, it's also looking at where they may come into the university. So, for instance, if we feel that PSP is a more suited option for them, we'll recommend doing the PSP course as a starting point, or maybe starting off at a lesser degree, so maybe a grad cert or a diploma as well. So really it allows us to look at them academically, make an assessment and give them the best options of what their opportunities are and how they can come into the university.
No, thank you. Appreciate that. Claire, can I get you to sort of, we've talked about, the fact that Preparing for Success, transition to uni, that abbreviated version, when you're studying in that program, there's the opportunity to study online. What did that look like for you? Because I know, a lot of students are probably familiar with online study. Can you give some sort of, in terms of what we do at Southern Cross with our online study, some of the support and the way you can connect with your fellow students, that sort of thing?
Yes, so everything is run through what's called a Blackboard site. And initially I was very nervous. I thought studying online would be a lot more difficult, that I would need the support of, a tutor in the classroom. But the way it's set up, you have a discussion board. So if you've got any sort of questions about the course itself, you can put it on the discussion board and start a thread. And either one of the tutors will get back to you, or fellow students, we answer each other's questions and point people in the right direction. When you listen to the lecture and you take your notes, and then you do the tutorial online, and we were in lockdown anyway, so we had to, but you're there, and it's a little bit nerve-wracking at first to speak into the microphone or put your camera on or anything like that. But after the second or third time, it's so welcoming and comfortable. It's very easy to do. And it's constantly there's information available on your Blackboard. There's areas where you can go in and look for information, and it's all laid out for you. It's very simple.
Yeah, no, thank you. Johanna, we've talked about transition to uni. We've talked about preparing for success. We did touch on a couple of little differences, but could I get you to just maybe give a quick little overview of both of those programs?
Sure. So many people are familiar or more familiar with the Preparing for Success program. So we have 4 units. So 3 of those units are compulsory. So one is about time management, one is about writing at university, and then the other one is the mathematics unit, so problem solving with mathematics. And then the 4th unit is elective, so you either choose the science unit or the arts and business unit. And so if you're studying full-time, you're studying 2 units at a time per term, and there's 2 terms. Now, for transition to uni, you have only 2 units. And so the 1 unit is kind of like the management and writing unit. So the 2 units of Preparing for Success program are rolled into 1. So it's more intensive. And then the other unit is the science and math-based unit, also rolled into 1. But so there's only 2 units, and you study it over 1 term. So it's more intensive, but you're done also more quickly, so that intensive-based units. But both of those courses do get you entry into a course at Southern Cross University. So we are very confident that if you do the Preparing for Success program or you do transition to uni, we know that you do have the required skills to proceed then into a bachelor course if you want to.
Yeah, which is great because we're in a sort of a unique situation at Southern Cross where you can actually apply directly to our university. You don't have to go through UAC or QTAC. It's a really simple process. It's just a matter of applying on the course pages. Obviously, you can find the Preparing for Success page if you're interested in that particular program and apply. As I said, it costs you nothing to apply directly with us as well.
Yeah. And and I know you've already said it, Jodie, but just so the Preparing for Success program, so anyone can do that. You just have to have like year 10, Australian year 10. But the transition to uni, it is only for recent school leavers, so you have that year 12, and it's maybe just you've missed out on the 8 are required. So it's just like topping up your skills, where Preparing for Success is more like if you are, you can be out of year 12 as well, but it's more open to anyone.
Yeah, no, thank you. I wanted to touch on our student support, and I will throw to you in a moment, Anthony, but just to pop it in context, the Good Universities Guide's a way of comparing universities to each other. They compare us on different metrics, and one of them student support. And each and every year for the last couple of years, Southern Cross has received 5 stars. So our Preparing for Success program sort of almost falls into that category because it is about supporting our students. Our careers team helps you find employment whilst you're studying, but also as you prepare for graduation. We have our student hub that's here to answer any questions, but we've also got our Indigenous unit as well. So, Anthony, can I ask you to talk about some of the specific support that's available with your unit?
Sure. So basically, as I mentioned earlier off the piece, we basically encompass the whole, I suppose, support from a social impact of coming to university, socially supporting Indigenous students, academically supporting them, and emotionally supporting them. We have camps, obviously the 3 campuses of the Southern Cross. We have Indigenous social spaces and teaching spaces and academic spaces on all 3 campuses. And really, as I said, our support's really about ensuring that the student feels comfortable coming to university, feels comfortable in their environment, giving them the best possible situation to be able to, successfully study and get through. Our support really, as I said, the academic, we're federally funded by the government to provide academic program support, so stuff like tutoring, academic support along the same lines as what some of the things with PSP mentioned about how we support them through the academic space. As I said, socially, we provide space, culturally safe space, which makes it more comfortable for Indigenous students to feel welcome and to feel like they've got a place here at university, and also to mingle with their co-peers and their colleagues around, supporting each other through university in whichever course they're doing as well. And emotionally, as I said, the support is also based around how we support our students emotionally. So, as we all know, life impacts all aspects of what we do, and study plays a part in that. And there are many impacts around what you do in life and how you juggle family and work and all those situations as well. So we provide, the emotional support around whether it be counselling, support around the services and what they can tap into, financial support, so there's scholarships available. So we encompass, as I said, the more, we make it more like a family sort of net of support, basically making them feel like they've got people that they can lean on, they've got people they can ask questions of, they feel comfortable in being able to step into an environment like university and feel successful and feel confident.
And can I just get you to let us know which of our campuses this level of support's available?
Yeah, so across all 3 campuses. So here at Gold Coast, we're based in level 3 for Indigenous students. There's a room and space which has computers and printing and social spaces. As Lismore as well, we've got a much more of a bigger space, which is it houses kitchenettes and social and lounge spaces, as well as academic support space and tutoring space as well. And the Gold Coast, in Coffs Harbour, has our Gumbaynggirr room, which is our cultural room down in Coffs Harbour as well. So not only do we have the spaces on campus, we do support students who are online. So obviously those who are studying in any part of the country or any part of the online support, we do offer all other ranges of support for online students as well. So we try and really encompass the full support of what we do.
Thank you. We're going to sort of throw to questions in a moment or two, but I just wanted to give everyone the opportunity. Is there anything else you think we should share with our audience today? Any tips that you'd like to offer for people sort of starting on that journey to study, maybe as they finish up high school or if they've had a bit of a break from study for a little while? Claire, did you have anything you sort of would suggest to people as you were, thinking about university?
Yes, well, yeah, I thought about it for a long time. I would say reach out. Absolutely, I couldn't believe the amount of support, follow-up and confidence building that I got through the application stage, and then that just continued when I got in. So take the step, reach out. I guarantee someone will be there to help you.
Okay. Johanna, is there anything else you think we need to share?
I would just like to share, or just to make people aware of the diplomas as well. So we've done a lot of talk about the Preparing for Success program and transition to uni. But also keep in mind, we do have a range of diplomas. And so they are all the diplomas, there's Diploma of Science. From next year, we have a Diploma of Regenerative Agriculture, Diploma of Information Technology, Diploma of Health, and a whole range of other ones. And so they are standalone, so you can take it, you exit with a diploma, but you can also use it as an entry pathway from a diploma into a bachelor course. That means for that related bachelor course, you've already completed year 1 and there's only 2 left. And you can then, when you finish your bachelor course, that means you have finished 2 courses. So you get 2 qualifications instead of just going straight into your bachelor course. So just have a look at the diplomas as well as another option.
Yeah, no, thank you. And just keep in mind as well, so Southern Cross offers a suite of diplomas, as we've talked about, in a few different study areas that all sort of pathway into our bachelor programs. I know a lot of students, particularly while they're studying their senior years at high school, a lot of schools are offering diplomas or certificates in certain study areas that you might be doing as part of a VET program. You can use those to help gain entry as well. So you can add them as recognition for prior learning in your application, and they can often entitle you to credit, which will save you time and money. So keep that in mind when you're sort of putting your application into Southern Cross as well, something to sort of consider.
Different pathways.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we said. As long as you know what your passion is, we'll be able to sort of help you find a course for you. So can I ask if there's any questions? And don't be shy, we're here to answer.
So just coming back to the diplomas, what do you get for your rank out of that?
I think they're different for each one, but I think it might sit around 45 to 50. I have to probably
I believe
check.
it's around 45 for the majority of the diplomas. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you doing grade 12 at the moment?
No, so I have a diploma already.
Okay,
I
great.
finished grade 12, yeah.
Yeah. So definitely have a conversation around, what that might look like to help gain credit. Because to give you an example, the Diploma of Arts and the Diploma of Business, you can get 8 units of credit towards our bachelor, which is 24 units. So effectively, you're saving yourself a year off your degree. So something to consider if you have a diploma in your back pocket already, or if you're interested in studying, as I said, in bite-sized pieces, then obviously our Southern Cross College would be able to help you.
So would that be the first year of study? If it was the 8 units, they would go straight into the second year?
In a lot of cases, yes. With business and arts, they're basically picking up the electives. So all your electives would be the units you've already studied in your diploma, and you'd need to pick up the core subjects to finish off that bachelor degree. You guys, did you have a... Yeah.
Yeah, I've already got a diploma, but I'm trying to change fields. Like, I want to do something differently. Is that going to give me any credit, anything, or is that...
I would definitely put it in your application. It would be our admissions team that would assess your individual case. So where you will get most credit is where it's a relative bachelor degree, but not to say that there might be a unit that you've done that you would, transition over to a different study area. So definitely put it in. They can only say no. Yeah. But yeah, obviously you'll get the most credit if it's a degree that's relevant to what your diploma was.
Thank you.
Yeah. All good. Well, we might wrap it up. Just remember that our team's here to help you today. I definitely suggest you check out the facilities. So the campus is only about 10 years old, so everything's almost brand spanking new. So check out the facilities. We've got campus tours leaving just outside the door. These guys will hang around out in the foyer, and also we've got the team at the welcome desk as well. So any questions today, reach out. If not, we're part of the Future Students team. Our contact details are all over your course guide, so yell out at any point in time. We'll be happy to help. Okay, thanks you guys.
Thank you.